gents, today I'm here with Justin Jeffers from J. Butler and Fine Young Gent. And I was really curious to talk about, because Justin was from Philly, he worked at Deloitte, so you went from a very suited culture, but now you're a West Coast guy.
Yes.
I think just to talk about the difference between the styles and the two, and kind of like, it's almost like culture shock coming out here.
It's been different.
Yeah.
So to clarify, I was at Deloitte for 2.5 years in New York City, working financial services, Gill Group, Morgan Stanley, RBS. Most days it was business casual, but need to be presentable, which is why I started Fine Young Gentlemen, because I wanted to help guys dress better, because we thought, I thought that some of the stalwarts, brands, I won't mention them here, were leading us astray. And so I wanted to create a resource for guys to dress well and to find product reviews, which you have done so well yourself now also. So thank you for your service to the menswear industry.
Oh yeah.
But I moved back to Philadelphia after a couple of years in New York, and Philadelphia, also being an East Coast city, has its relative to San Francisco proclivities to the more formal side of things. So when I moved out here last July, I knew it was going to be a different type of sartorial kind of style. I didn't know there would be basically zero sartorial prowess whatsoever. As an entertaining anecdote, I went in to an interview at the company that I now work at, and I go in a nice, blue suit. It wasn't one of my extravagant like plaids or pinstripes. It was a solid blue, a shade lighter than navy, a white shirt, burgundy knit tie, and burgundy double monk straps. For me, conservative, formal, put together, fit well. Had the interview, everyone looked at me like crooked because I was in a suit and everyone else is in like t-shirts. By the way, this is my San Francisco camouflage outfit. I got a t-shirt on, my Theo and Harris t-shirt, my vest, my Patagonia vest, my Allbirds shoes, and my Apple Watch, of course. God forbid I forget that. But they looked at me like I was crazy. I was in a suit. And she was my boss, and she emailed me and she's like, "Hey, it was great to meet you. We really appreciated your kooky style."
Kooky style.
And I was like, kooky, okay. And that kind of like, I just moved out here, so I didn't really kind of know just how casual things were. So I thought it was entertaining and funny. And I've worn a suit like twice to the office since then, now that I'm actually, working. And people still look at me like I'm crazy. I wore one last Friday, and I thought that I had 7 heads. Or people think I was like interviewing for a job, or they're like, what happened? Like, do you have to go to court? Do you have a job? Like, interview? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, it's a party tonight.
Well, I even find, like, when I was working with companies across the country,
Yeah.
it's like, when I go to New York, that felt like the traditional sense of, like, when I was looking for style. Like, you'd see men in suits, I would look proper, like wearing a blazer, no tie, but like button-down shirt and everything. And then when I work with brands in the Midwest, I would usually kind of look out of place in a blazer, and so like button-down shirt and like dark jeans looked good in the offices. But then when I get to the West Coast, like even if I wore a button-up shirt, people would be like, and so like I would never wear a blazer out here when I came to work with a company because I would look out of place. And like the Midwest was always hit or miss, but the East Coast, and so like, but I think it's also how much you're in the center of a city almost. It's like even here, like I saw some suits this morning when you're around the financial district.
Yeah, you'll see some.
You see some suits, but for the most part, like it's like the casualization just gets more and more as you get to the West Coast.
Oh yeah.
But although it's like I do see some, like Indochino is right down here in the financial district. Like they obviously know where to get their
there is a
spots
market.
Here,
There's a couple of great stores that, and I mean, of course, you also have Alden has a store out here. Cable car clothiers, great traditional clothiers. So there are some storied establishments here. Suit Supply has a store as well. But I work a little bit outside the city, and when I go to take the shuttle bus down to the office, which is a thing out here in San Francisco. If you've never been out here, a lot of the companies, the Facebooks, the Googles, the YouTubes, the Genentechs, the Walmarts of the world, they pick us up in the city and they transport us magically to our offices in these shuttle buses.
Air-conditioned Wi-Fi bus.
Air-conditioned Wi-Fi. You can work. You can watch your Netflix, your YouTube videos, and it's like kind of funny. But because mass transit isn't great here, and because the city itself is so horrifyingly, criminally, extortionately expensive to live in, and to rent office space, and a lot of the offices have to go out of the city. But when I go around some of the offices, I feel like I'm in Stranger Things, and people are dressing like kids in t-shirts and jeans and ripped jeans and hats and ratty shoes and stuff like that. Which is, if that's the culture of the office, that's fine. For me, it's been, as you said, a culture shock, and even in the city, it's still the case. And when I go to night class at school, we're all 30-something working professionals, and you'll see a couple people in suits and ties, but a lot of people t-shirts, jeans, stuff like that. And for me, that's just different. And I know there are some casual aspects in many workplaces in New York and Philly, Boston, the East Coast, but out here, it is very different.
I'm curious, like, I know my audience and myself, and like some of your audience and readers too, they might like want to have that suited lifestyle. It's like you kind of have to shoot for banking or law or government. Like, you kind of have to shoot for an industry that dresses that way if you want that sort of thing. It's like, if you want to wear tuxes, you gotta start going to galas and fundraisers and that sort of thing. And so maybe it's like, if you're looking to relocate, you gotta go somewhere that, and because I feel like, if you want to live a certain life, you gotta kind of get yourself there.
Yeah, I've, as to give you a number, I have about 45 suits and sport coats in my closets back there. I've worn maybe 10 of them since I've been out here. I've been here for 10 months. A full suit looks out of place. What I'll do oftentimes is really try and dress down a jacket or a suited jacket. In the winter with corduroy, stuff like that. In the summer, with linen pants, stuff like that. It still looks dressed up, but if you can tone it down a lot, if you can take the edge off the formality, that works. And there are some people in my workplace and in my classes and elsewhere where they will wear jackets, but they'll dress it down underneath, turtleneck, a polo shirt, maybe stuff like that. And it still looks good. One of the guys that I work with, he does a really good job of dressing down a blazer or a sport coat. So it can be done. Sometimes it looks out of place because everyone else is so casual here, but other times, it's fully in place. But guys like you and me, that's just not my style to dress it down that much. So there sometimes is a sartorial friction, maybe we'll call it.
Yeah. There's still a way to be sartorial without being in a suit. And I think that's what people, it's like the range goes from, I want to dress nicer, get a bunch of suits, and then you slowly peel it back as you understand yourself and how to really like combine things. Like for me, like the more I can incorporate linen, especially in the summer, like I feel great about it. And it's like, it doesn't have to be a linen suit. It could be like nice linen trousers and then something else. And so I think it's all about that kind of discovery and that sort of thing.
100%. You can wear a great pair of, 5 pockets or chinos and like a nice polo shirt or, an Oxford cloth and, with a vest and look super put together. Especially, as we all talk about, fit is so paramount, fit is so important. So you can look super sharp, but be casual. Even sometimes, some guys look great in just jeans and like a white V-neck t-shirt. You can look super...
If you work out. That's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Not just clothes fit, but also I've found is like, if you are fit, it's like then it takes you another step ahead.
It's easier. You can get away with a little bit more.
Yeah.
And there are different strengths that you can play to as well. Which that's a good point.
All right, so just want to have a discussion about the style across the thing, because like I witnessed it myself when I was working in corporate, and then every time Justin and I catch up, he's like, "Oh, my suits are collecting dust, and it's very sad."
It's so depressing. Like these beautiful tweeds, these cashmeres, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, but anyways, hope you enjoyed that conversation. You can check out Justin. I'll put links to all this stuff below. Thanks for coming on the channel.
Thanks for having me.
And check him out later. Till next time, gents. This is the Kavalier.